slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever...
Hey team, hope you're all doing well. I wanted to go over running with a weighted vest. Okay, are there any benefits and risks to doing this? I have in the past trained with a weighted vest, and I think that some of the things you want to think about before you even think about running with a weighted vest is, first, you want to make sure that you have laid a strong aerobic foundation of mileage first. You don't want to just jump into running with additional weight on you without having first spent several weeks, okay, minimum 4 weeks of running aerobically without a running vest. Okay, again, when you're running with additional weight on your chest as you're running, that obviously place a lot more stress on the knees, on our overall anatomy. So again, you want to make sure that first you've built that foundation of aerobic mileage. You've laid that foundation of general fitness before you start thinking about running with a weighted vest. Some of the benefits for sure of running with a weighted vest is you get that feeling of being able to run a certain pace with additional weight on you. Okay, I think just an additional 10 to 20 pounds on you with a running vest is definitely going to place a lot more additional stress on you when you're running. You want to make sure too that, in terms of thinking about some of the risks, that you want to make sure that it's comfortable and it doesn't cause any chafing or anything that's going to cause you any type of additional pain as you're running. Okay, running with a weighted vest, I think, is a good strategic plan for athletes that are looking for some additional strategies, some additional ideas to run at faster paces in the middle distance races and into the longer distance races. Anything that you can think of that's going to help you be a little bit to outsmart your competition, I think is a good idea. Running, that's why I always say, run over hills, do strength training once per week. Do hill repetitions, run over hillier terrain. Get beyond just running on flats, easy surfaces the whole time you're training. Okay, you want to think outside the box. How can I outwit and outsmart my competition? Okay, running with a weighted vest is another one of those ways. Okay, it's you're thinking about not only maybe running with a weighted vest, doing your hill repetitions is a great idea. Okay, again, you're working on explosive activities where you're really pumping your arms, where you really have to pump your arms and lift your knees, lift your legs, really have to work your hip flexors. If you're running with a weighted vest on top of running hills or running over hillier terrain or doing long runs, think about doing a 20 miler or 32.2 or 32 kilometer long run, running with a weighted vest on as well. Okay, that's not only it's gonna definitely get you outside of your comfort zone, but it's similar to like running with like 5 pound or 2.5 pound or 5 pound dumbbells in each hand as you're running. Think about how much more difficult that is versus running without those dumbbells in your hand or without running with a weighted vest. Okay, I think that when you're running with a weighted vest, you also got to think about, okay, if normally I wouldn't have an issue running 10 miles, 16 kilometers, running with a weighted vest, I would first think about just running much shorter distances to first get used to doing this. Maybe instead of thinking about a 10 miler, think about doing maybe a 3 to 4 miler before you start moving into those longer runs, running with a weighted vest. Okay, I like this idea of running with a weighted vest, preparing for middle distance races, long distance races, again, because it places that additional stress on the body, on the heart. But again, don't do this. Do not start training with running with a weighted vest if you have not first learned how to run for middle to long distance duration without a weighted vest. First, build that foundation. Get your muscles, get your ligaments and tendons strong. Get mentally prepared first to just get out the door on a consistent basis and run the mileage, and to stay consistent with the mileage for about 4 weeks, and then start introducing some lighter runs with a weighted vest. Okay, and again, these weighted vests can vary in terms of how much weight you want to carry, but again, even just like an additional 10 pounds on you, on a weighted vest as you're running over long periods of time, or even running at shorter paces. Okay, maybe you're doing like a fartlek run, or you're doing a short tempo run, maybe a 5K to 8K tempo run. If you're wearing a weighted vest, your paces, it's going to be tough. So make sure that one, if you have a specific goal pace that you're aiming to run for that fartlek run or that tempo run, make sure that you also keep in mind and adjust your paces. Okay, if you're wearing a weighted vest. Okay, if your goal was to run like 8-minute mile pace for say a 5-mile run or around 8-kilometer run, okay, make sure that you adjust that. Okay, when you're wearing a weighted vest to offset the additional weight that you're placing on yourself. Okay, so I do think there's definitely benefits to running with a weighted vest. One, again, you get used to trying to run at faster paces with additional weight on yourself, and if you do this often enough, okay, maybe once per week. I don't think you should be running with a weighted vest any more than once per week. Okay. But again, it forces you to try to run at faster paces, or even for relaxed paces with additional weight on you. Okay, if you can do this strategically and properly in terms of your overall health, and first you've, as I mentioned earlier, if you've given yourself sufficient time to first build aerobic fitness without running with a weighted vest, and then you start eventually introducing light runs or maybe some faster, shorter runs, and eventually get to a point where you can do longer runs. If you're training for, like, say, a half marathon, 10-mile race, 10K, half marathon, if you're trying for those longer races, running for longer periods of time with a weighted vest at easier, relaxed pace, even running at an easier pace for a long period of time with a weighted vest on, is going to definitely help you to not only maintain your form, but also get that goal race pace that you're aiming for to feel that much easier when you're obviously not wearing that in a race. Okay, so I do think there is definitely plenty of benefits, and there is risks. If you're going to do this, there is the risk of placing additional stress on the overall anatomy of the body. So just be aware of those particular things. If you're doing strength training, if you've given yourself sufficient time to build your aerobic fitness and build that volume that you need and that overall strength, I think you'll be fine in running with a weighted vest. If you've, again, looked at all the other parameters, all the other fundamentals that go into running properly, make sure that you are paying attention to your overall form, your strength training, so that, again, you improve your biomechanics as you're running. And I think that running with a weighted vest can do that for you. I mean, if you've done all the other things, you're making sure that also you're hydrating well, you're recovering well after these workouts, because running with a weighted vest is going to place a lot of additional stress on the body. So again, anytime we do these harder workouts, if you're doing sprints with a running vest, or if you're doing hill repetitions or repeat 1600s on the track, any type of really hard anaerobic workouts, you're building up a lot more additional inflammation, okay, after you're done. So make sure you're getting proper sleep. Don't place so much stress on yourself on performing, okay? Get out there and put in the workouts. Do the best you can to hit the splits that your coach or the training plan that you have has set out for you, okay? But don't get so bent out of shape if you don't hit the exact splits that you're aiming for every single time, okay? Get out there, do the best you can to hit the splits, to get the volume in. But there's going to be days that you're just off. Okay, so expect that. You're not. I know all of you that watch these videos, all of you are highly disciplined. All of you are highly motivated. You all have your own particular goals in mind. So, but just also reel in that drive and motivation. Make sure that you give yourself at least 24 hours up to 48 hours of recovery, preferably 48 hours of recovery after you do a very hard track session, or you're doing these types of workouts. Maybe you're doing like repeat 100-meter hill sprints while running with a weighted vest. Okay, that type of workouts, you need to make sure that you're jogging, taking it easy on those recovery days so that you can continue to push yourself hard anaerobically like this and do these types of workouts with, say, a running vest. So I hope this video is helpful for all of you that are considering running with a weighted vest and some of the benefits and risks that are involved. Feel free to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you all think. If you've ever trained with a running vest, I'd love to hear that, and I'm sure the other viewers of this video would love to hear what you also have to think about running with a weighted vest. So thanks so much for your support of this channel. Please like and share these videos. I really appreciate it. Again, I want to see other athletes prepare properly and to also perform at a higher level. And hopefully the videos that I make will be able to be of assistance to you all. So thanks so much for your support, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.